seated position. However, that seated position feels good for you today. I have found a really nice way to support my knee by sneaking my other foot under that leg, so it has a little bit of a support. But if you need more support, just place cushions under your knees or sit in whichever way feels comfortable. And then allow your eyes to close. And take a nice deep breath in. And a gentle sigh out. And as you pause right here, give yourself a moment to fully arrive. Allowing your awareness to land in your body. Allow your body to land on your mat. And so there is an awareness of the inner body. And then an awareness of your outer body and how it is connecting with the ground and the space around you. Notice if there is a difference in awareness of your inner body versus your outer body, the surface of your body that is in immediate contact with the outer world. Can you allow both aspects of yourself to be fully present? And can you allow yourself to be fully aware of both aspects, inner and outer? How are you relating to this moment as it is? And how does this moment want you to be with it? And take a couple of nice, deep, conscious breaths. Drawing the outer world into your inner world. And releasing your inner world into the outer world as you exhale. Noticing what is more comfortable to you. To draw the outer world in, or to share your inner world out. Take one more breath. And just for a moment, open your eyes. Take your right hand and fold the index and the middle finger towards your palm. You're going to use your right thumb and the right ring finger to close your nostrils alternately. And so you'll begin with a gentle touch on your right nostril. And you inhale through the left. Then use your index finger to close the left nostril and exhale through the right nostril. Inhale through the right. Close it with your thumb, open the left, exhale on the left side. Inhale on the left. Close with your index finger, exhale on your right. Inhale on your right. Close it, exhale on your left. You're welcome to close your eyes once you got the hang of this. Inhale left. Switch, exhale right. Inhale right. Switch and exhale left. When you inhale on your left, imagine the breath going down into your belly. Then when you exhale on the right, imagine the breath coming up from the belly and going out on the right side. Inhale through the right, the breath goes down into your belly. And exhale on the left, the breath comes from the belly up and out. Inhale. Switching to exhale. So continue in your own pace. You're switching after each inhale. Let your breath be really soft. It doesn't have to be very deep. Let it be natural. It's an easy flow from side to side, balancing out both hemispheres of your brain, balancing the feminine and the masculine sides of your body, calming nervous system. The next time you exhale on your left side, whenever you exhale on your left, release your hand, coming back to your normal breath. Notice if anything changed in your inner world. Notice if anything changed in the way you can sense your outer world. And slowly bring your hands together in front of your heart. In Namaste, connecting left and right, yin and yang, female and male. Remember what brought you to your mat today. What is your intention for your practice? Together, let's also set the intention to practice for the benefit of all living beings on the planet. And let's share the sound of Om, inhaling. Om. And slowly lower your hands as you open your eyes. We'll start lying down, and if you like, you could unfold your blanket and have a little extra padding on your mat. Maybe nice, especially if you're one of those that have some lower back sensitivity. And so beginning on your back, resting head on the floor, arms by your sides. And once you're settled there, bring your legs together so that they're lined up with the center of your body. And then slowly bring your right knee towards your chest and wrap your hands around your knee. Or it can be behind your knee if that feels better. The left leg is relaxed. Allow your shoulders to relax. The right heel drops towards your right buttock, so your whole leg is passive. And you may need to find a little micro movement here to avoid any compression in your hip joint, or right hip joint. So if you feel stuck bringing the knee straight into your chest, maybe bring the knee just a hair to the right. Doesn't have to be far. Just so that you find an optimal position for your right femur bone, the upper thigh bone. And then see if you can become really soft here. Notice if you can sense the movement of your belly as you breathe. Noticing where you feel sensations in your body. So some of you may not feel that much here, which is okay. Just the compression in the hip joint will stimulate lubrication in the hip, which is great to enhance range of motion there. The compression of the groin, the inner thighs, affecting the kidney and liver and spleen meridians. But mostly, can you just be aware of this passive shape and how it is affecting your inner world while you're still aware of your outer world. Take one more breath here. Keep your right knee bent. Bend your left knee, placing your left foot on the floor. Place a right ankle on your left knee, the right knee pointing to the side. And bring both legs towards your chest. The right hand reaching through your legs. Grab the left shin, or you can grab behind your left knee, whatever works for you. And keeping your right foot gently flexed without it making it very active. And if this feels too much for the right hip or anywhere else, there are two options here. You could let go of your legs and let the left foot just stay on the floor with the right ankle on the left knee, or place a block under your left foot so the left leg is up a little bit, but just not as far as all the way into your chest. So adjust accordingly if you need. And then see if you can allow your pelvis to really drop into the ground. So avoiding a rounding of your lower back here. And see if you can allow your lower back to be in a neutral position. So let the sits bones be heavy. And your shape is passive, so don't actively pull on your legs. You're staying in this shape as you are, shoulders relaxed. And so see if you can find a downward energy in your pelvis, your hips, and your legs, rather than an energy that is going towards your chest. So instead of really focusing on pulling the legs close, focus on letting your body drop into the ground. Releasing any tightness in your face. Maybe move your tongue around in your mouth a few times to unlock your jaw. Two more breaths here. Slowly release your hands, lower your left foot to the ground. Keep your right foot, keep your right foot exactly where it is. Your legs stay exactly in this shape. The only thing you'll do is move your legs over to the left until your right foot touches the floor. The sole of the foot comes on the floor. The right knee points up towards the ceiling. The left foot is still where it is, but you're just on the side of the foot. If you're not 100% sure, just take a moment to look at your screen. So not a regular twist. The right foot on the floor, right knee pointing up to ceiling. So your right hip is somewhere off the floor. But can you allow that right hip to drop? And then the more you let go of any engagement around the right hip and the right glute, the more you will probably feel here. Hopefully you'll feel some unraveling in the right side of your lower back. You may even feel a little relief or pulling on the obliques on the right side, the front of the right hip. If your right knee doesn't want to stay here on its own, you can use your left hand and just support the leg, keeping it in place. to really let go and attending to your inner world. What are you aware of right now? Physical sensations, where are they? Do they stay the same or are they changing? Can you feel your breath? Notice the thoughts going through your mind. And can you allow this moment to be exactly as it is without having an opinion about it? Take a nice deep breath in, and a full breath out. Very carefully slide your right foot towards your left foot, so your knees fall both to the left for a moment. And then very carefully, one knee at a time with your feet on the floor, bring your knees up. Straightening out your hips and extend your legs. And take a moment to pause and notice any difference between your right and your left side. And bring your legs together again so they line up with the center of your body. And then draw the left knee into your chest. Holding your leg just below the knee, or your hands can come behind your knee, whatever feels good. Relax your right leg. And again, notice if you need to reposition your left leg so that you don't feel stuck in your hip, that you can bring it out a little to the left if needed, not too far, but just enough to avoid any compression in the hip joint. So really allow that right leg to relax, so the knee may be slightly bent and the foot may turn slightly out. Just let that happen. The weight of your arms is just pulling your knee down towards your chest, but you're not actively pulling on the arms. And so also notice if you're gripping really hard with your fingers. Can you relax your hands? What are you aware of right now? is present in your inner world? And what are you noticing in your outer world? Take another nice deep breath. And a full breath out. Keeping your left knee bent. Bend your right knee, foot comes on the floor. Left ankle on your right knee, left knee pointing to the left. Excuse me, then bring both legs to your chest. Left hand goes through the legs. Then find your right knee, or you can hold behind the right knee. The left foot is gently flexed without it being very active, and your right heel is just relaxed down towards your right buttock. And so allowing your weight to drop again. So rather than continuously pulling the legs in, just let them be in this passive position where the weight of your pelvis drops. So avoid a rounding of your lower back where your tailbone is lifting off the floor. But can you let your lower back just be neutral here? Also notice if you can balance out the weight equally between right and left hip. Notice if you're more interested in your inner world, or if you're more interested in your outer world. Where is your awareness going? And can you just let that be for what it is? You don't have to change it. You don't have to be interested in your inner world. Or you don't have to stay focused on your outer world, but can you just notice where your awareness goes and let it be? Can you simply be with what is? And take a nice breath in. And on your exhale, release your hands. Let your right foot come down to your mat. The left ankle stays where it is on your right knee. The left knee is pointing to the left still. Now keep your legs exactly as they are, but slowly move them over to the right. So your left foot comes flat on the floor and your left knee points up to the ceiling. Your right foot stays where it was, you just turn it onto its side. And so now your left hip is probably off the floor, but both shoulders are still nice and wide on the ground. Allowing the weight of your left hip and to create this gentle pull on the lower back, the front of the left hip, maybe even your left side of the waist. So for some of you it may be very subtle. Some of you may feel a lot. If you don't feel anything at all, just micro move your left foot a little bit. If you move it too much, you'll definitely lose any sensation. And you can always come back to that starting point and then move your legs to the side again to resettle the position of your legs. Notice if you can sense that there are different stages of letting go. That where perhaps initially you thought that you were pretty relaxed in the shape, at some point you notice that there's actually even more to release. And then after a little while there is even more to let go of, to unravel. So just notice this process. Body is super relaxed, but mind is alert. Which is not a type of alertness that is constantly spotting or checking for danger. It's just this alertness of being present with what is. And take a nice deep breath in, a full breath out. And very carefully slide your left foot to your right foot so your knees move towards each other. And then carefully placing the left foot on the floor, bring your left knee up. And with the right foot on the floor, bring the right knee up. And pausing here for a moment. Maybe bring your feet a little wider than your hips and let your knees touch. And slowly straighten your legs. Just taking a moment to check in again. Noticing any difference in how your body feels right now. And then bend your knees and slowly roll to your sides. And to carefully come up. If you have a little tightness or soreness or any other issue in your lower back, you may like to use your blanket in the next pose. So have it folded close to you so you can use it if needed. Extend your legs out in front of you. And then bend the right knee and place it on top of your left knee. The side of your foot is on the mat and your foot is very close to your left hip. So it's not foot on the floor, knee up, but knee is on the other knee, side of the foot, or almost the top, depending on how far your foot turns, next to the left hip. So you can stay here, or if it works for your body, you could bend the left knee as well, bringing the left foot next to your right hip, but only if the right sits bone wants to stay on the floor this way. Wherever you are, if you have a little soreness in your lower back, take this blanket folded another time and wedge it between your legs and your belly and your rib cage, so that when you go forward, I'll turn to the side so you can see that. So when you go forward, your spine actually stays pretty long rather than rounding forward. So there is very little pull on the lower back. If you don't have any back sensitivity here, feel free to round your spine and come all the way down, however far that works for you. I'm going to work with my blanket today so my lower back stays nice and long. If the side of your foot on the floor is uncomfortable, see if you can find another little prop to put it under your foot, maybe your sweater or something, and so that doesn't hurt. And really let just your pelvis drop into the ground again, softening your outer hips. And if you do have any lower back sensitivity, but you are not comfortable with that blanket, another option is to do without the blanket. Keep your spine pretty long and bring your arms behind you as a little counterweight. So it's easier to keep the spine straight without going too far forward and without rounding your back. And so that's an option too. And as you've changed your orientation, so now you're upright rather than reclined, notice if that makes a difference in how you are experiencing your inner and your outer world. How much more can you release your hips? Can you relax your shoulders, your jaw? Take a nice deep breath in, full breath out. Inhale, slowly come up. If you do have that blanket, just place it to the side. Then bring your right foot next to your left knee. The right knee comes up now. So if your left knee was bent, but by bringing the right knee up, you start to lean into your left side, feel free to straighten the left leg. And if you already had a straight left leg, welcome to stay there. So whatever works to keep your pelvis level. Right foot flat on the floor, right knee up. Inhale, lift your right arm up. Exhale, turn your chest to the right, big circle, half circle with the right hand. Let it land somewhere behind you, close to your lower back. Inhale, lift the left arm up. As you exhale, maybe turn a little further without forcing it, and then hook your elbow around the knee. Some of you may like the arm on the inside of the knee, but hook your elbow around the knee. And then find a passive quality in this pose. And so you're not trying to get any further into your twist. Allow your pelvis to drop. Outer hips soften. Belly is soft. Your head can be turned in whichever direction feels comfortable for your neck. I like to keep my head neutral, but you can look over your left shoulder if you like. And see if you can find a little bit of an action in your left arm. So imagine that you're pulling your left elbow away from you. And so see if you can feel that that creates a little bit of an opening in the front of your left shoulder. And you may even feel that creates a little bit of a pull in your chest. And so don't be aggressive with it, but just a little bit of an awareness of that left elbow pulling away from you, just to stimulate the long meridian here through the chest and the front of your shoulder. And with that little bit of an action in the left arm and the opening in the chest, can you let the lower body remain heavy and relaxed? If you'd like to focus on your inner world, close your eyes. Or perhaps keep your eyes open and just notice everything in your outer world. Just observing your surroundings without opinion. Without labeling, just taking in what is there. And take a nice deep breath in. As you exhale, carefully untwist. Bring your left hand behind you. And then lean back into both hands so you can unfold your legs. Bring your feet a little wider than your hips. And then very gently, slowly move your knees a few times from side to side. Slowly. And when your knees come up, extend your legs out in front of you. You can still lean onto your hands behind you just for a moment. And then as as you come up, bring your left knee on top of your right knee. The side of your foot is on the floor, on the mat, next to your left foot next to your right hip. Feel free to stay here with the right leg extended, or if it works for your body, bend your right knee as well, as long as your left sits bone can stay on the floor. It's your choice here. And then again, if you like to keep your spine a little more straight without too much effort, use a blanket, prop it between your legs and your belly and chest, and then come slowly forward, either leaning into that blanket, or if you don't have a blanket, just round your spine forward. So it's a passive forward fold. And just a reminder, alternatively, without the blanket, you could keep the spine straight, but bring your arms behind you as a little counterbalance. And so wherever you are in this shoelace pose, invite your body to relax as best as you can. And can you be in this shape? Can you be in this experience without describing it in your mind, without making up a story around it? Can you experience it as it is without words? If you notice that your body is starting to clench, relax it again. Slowly, slowly come up. If you have the blanket, put it to your sides. Place your left foot flat on your mat next to your right knee. And again, you can decide if you want to keep the right leg bent or straighten it. Reach the left arm up. On your exhale, turn a little to your left, half circle with the left arm behind you and let it come down to the floor, somewhere close to your lower back without really leaning into it. Inhale, right arm up. Exhale, maybe turn a little more to your left and then hook your right elbow around the left knee. And once you're settled, let your hips drop. Especially the left hip. Let your upper body be passive, so you're Spine is not necessarily straight here, it's more just in its natural curve. Turn your head in whichever direction feels good for your neck. Can you find a little action again now in your right arm? Imagine that you're pulling your right elbow out and away from you. Notice if you can feel a little opening happening in the front of the left shoulder. A little gentle pull the chest, stimulating the lung meridian. Notice if your left leg, the leg that's up, if it's starting to grip in any way, if the muscles are starting to engage, and soften again. Take a nice deep breath in. As you exhale, carefully untwist. Bring your hands behind you so you can lean into your hands, unfold your legs. Bring your feet a little wider than your hips and carefully moving knees from side to side. Just making sure your feet are wider than your hips so it's really easy on the lower back. Bring your knees up, and you come upright. Take your strap or whatever you have that can work as one and have it close by. And then lie down on your back again. If you like, lie on your blanket. Just lying in Shavasana just for a moment, noticing how your body feels right now. And bend both knees, so feet are on the floor. Take your strap or whatever it is that you have and place it under your right foot. And then extend the right leg up towards the ceiling. Your leg does not have to be entirely straight, but see if you can extend the leg up. And even it doesn't even have to be very close to your chest, but allow the left knee to stay bent even if you're flexible enough to straighten the leg. So this is not necessarily intended as a huge hamstring stretch, but more again to find and release in your lower back. And so see if you can allows both hips to drop into the ground, especially the right hip. It may be nice to have your arms straight here, shoulders staying on the floor, but so you don't have to work very hard with your biceps to keep the leg in place. Imagining that your lower back, we're melting on the ground here. See if it could become wider. Notice where your awareness is right now. And take another breath in. And on your exhale, bend your right knee, remove the strap, place your right foot on the floor, both knees bent. And then place your strap under your left foot, extending the left leg up towards the ceiling. Again, maybe nice to have your arms straight. Just walk them up your strap a little bit, keeping the shoulders relaxed, just so that the weight of your arms can keep your leg in place. The leg doesn't have to be entirely straight. And keeping the right knee bent. Allow your weight to be evenly distributed between the right and the left back of the hips. Noticing if there is any specific narrative going on in your mind right now. I love to remind myself that thoughts are real, but they're not true. And take another nice deep breath in. And exhale completely. And carefully bend your left knee, remove the strap, place your foot back on the floor, both knees bent. And with both knees bent, grab your block or a sturdy cushion. Even a folded blanket could work, whatever you have, as long as it's stable and sturdy, so it shouldn't be squishy and soft. With your knees bent, carefully lift your hips and slide the block or whatever you have under your sacrum. So it's very low, close to the tailbone, and there is no moving vertebra on that block or whatever you have, cushion, blanket. And your pelvis should be level here, so just make sure if you have something that is not completely sturdy, that you don't find an imbalance in the lower back. And then bring your feet a little wider than your hips, and letting your knees lean into each other. They probably won't touch, so don't push them together. But just so that you can relax your legs, and your arms can be in whichever position feels comfortable. They can be close by your sides. You could extend the arms out at shoulder height, even in a cactus pose where the elbows are bent and hands are pointing away from you. Anything goes. And once again, invite the pelvis to drop. It's really heavy in your hips and the lower back, and unravel here. A nice release in the hip flexors. Nice way to feed your kidneys with an increased blood flow, increased chi flow. If you can resist the tendency to fall asleep here, and see if it's possible to remain with this soft alertness, where body is relaxed but your mind is present and aware of the moment as it is. Take a nice deep breath in. Sigh it out as you exhale. Slowly bring your feet back in line with your hips, knees over your ankles. Then engage your legs and your buttocks and your abdomen. And with that engagement, carefully lift your hips. Move the block or whatever prop you have out of your way. And with that engaged position or disengaged quality, lower your hips back to the floor and then relax your muscles again, pausing for a moment to notice this increased blood flow, increased influx of chi in your lower back. And slowly straighten your legs, and you're also welcome to keep your knees bent. Just having your feet a little wider than your hips, knees together, that's a nice option too. Just settling in here for Shavasana. Maybe cover yourself with a blanket or put on your socks or whatever you have to be warm and comfortable. And then as you close your eyes, allow your body to melt even further, as if you're completely dissolving into the earth. And there is no separation anymore between inner and outer worlds. There's no duality. There is simply awareness of this moment without distinguishing one thing over another. You're welcome to stay here as long as you like. Whenever you're ready, gently deepen your breath. Using your breath to bring awareness back to your inner world. Gently moving your toes and fingers. Bringing awareness into your body as it relates to your outer world. And then carefully bend your knees and roll to your side. And slowly, slowly come up to sit. And take a moment to settle in and close your eyes. Notice the quality of this moment. Notice the quality of your body, your mind. And how you're relating to your inner world and to your outer world. And bring your palms together in front of your heart, connecting right and left. Feminine and masculine, yin and yang, the inner and the outer. May our practice be of benefit to all beings on the planet and lead to complete freedom, genuine happiness, and inner peace for all. Let's conclude with sharing the sound of Om. Inhale. Namaste.